Divine Risings, it is I, Kadara, and it is so great to be back. I've been on a beautiful spiritual sabbatical for myself and just shifting as I have all these new life transitions and things like that. As I soon become a father, I got to take a break and focus on one platform and one audience and one product and things like that. But the main reason I did get to come back is because one of the quotes that I shared earlier this week was that when we don't share our gifts, we're not only depriving ourselves of joy and fulfillment in our life's purpose, it's also robbing the world of a hidden treasure that the world desperately needs right now. And it's like, as I would say that to myself over and over, I was reminding myself there are a lot of my gifts that I just don't share. I grew up learning about alchemy and mysticism and so many other things. And I grew up learning about alchemy and mysticism and so many other things. Deep down inside, I've had it multiple times in my life throughout my life transitions where I didn't share my gifts because I either felt like the world might not be ready for them, or I felt like I might not be far enough in the journey to actually share the gift. And I wanted to share this because I know that this comes up a lot for the people that I've worked with and people that I've been around, where we're waiting until we have enough training or enough schooling or enough education or read enough things or had the experience multiple times to even share it. And deep down inside, there may be an underlying feature or theme or story that we're telling ourselves that we can't share it until blank. I know deep down inside, it's not always easy to share something when we feel like we're actively currently going through it. And that's what I want to do more of. I actually get to start sharing more of the things as I go through it. As I become a father this week, I'm committed to starting to share the things I'm actively going through in fatherhood. I'm committed to sharing the things that come up for me with my inner child becoming a father and my business life and my personal life and whatever the things may be, the creativity and all the magic and all the lessons, because I don't want to be perfect. I've never desired to be perfect and to share things as a perfect being. I've always been experimentational and messy. I'm just really excited. And I wanted to remind you, the world gets to receive your gifts, no matter what they are. You don't have to fully have harnessed your gifts. If you're a tarot reader and you have this natural gift for reading tarot, then allow yourself to, in the beginning, if you're just starting out, it's okay to read tarot cards while also having the book next to you or something next to you to reference and read from that. There's no shame and or guilt for not having memorized everything. You don't have to memorize it all. Yes, there is an audience out there that would prefer someone that memorizes it, but there are people that are on the same path and journey that you were on, that as they watch you grow and learn and start to memorize it over the weeks or the months that it will take you, they'll have so much respect for you because they will have seen that journey. And that is what I strive to do. I strive for people to see me on the journey, to be like, I remember when he started and I started and he just kept going. That's very inspirational. There are a lot of people that started coaching when I did 3 years ago that I see where they are, and it's inspirational to see where they've gotten, just as they're inspired to see where I've gotten, because we've all chosen different paths. And this is the beauty of sharing that gift, in sharing my gifts with myself and sharing my gifts with the world. The thing that it has really allowed me to do is to understand that I don't just have one life purpose. I have multiple life purposes. And my life purpose evolves over time. At one point, my life purpose was to join the military and to become a hero. And then at another point, it was to become a fashion and runway photographer. Another point, it was to be a world-renowned poet. And another moment in my life, it's where I am now, where I get to be a master life coach and support people through their life transitions, through dealing with anxiety, through dealing with stress, through actually understanding they have more than one life purpose, helping them develop and explode their personal brand so that their social media content attracts a really loving and supportive social tribe. And maybe 10 years from now, when you're watching another one of my videos, you'll be like, wow, his life's purposes is still evolving. So I wanted to remind you all that your gifts also evolve. What your gifts are now are not what they're going to be in 10 years if you continue to share them. If you use your gifts right now, they're not going to be the same in 3 months. If you are someone that practices astrology, it's the same. As you develop and you learn more about astrology and you start learning more about the houses and the different planets and the different transitions that people go through, and you start working with people one-on-one, and you start working with people in groups or creating passive income and things like that, all of these things evolve. If you were to see a workbook of mine or a course of mine from 3 years ago when I first started coaching until now, you would be like, wow, Not even just the quality of the content, because I wasn't in the most amazing space. I was in a trailer and the Sonoran Desert, and yet I still shared. I still made podcast episodes. I still made YouTube videos, worst quality video, very dark inside, and yet I still recorded. And sometimes I'd go for walks outside just so that I could get the thing out of my system. So what I'm basically inviting you to do is to let you know that when it comes to sharing your gifts, it doesn't have to be the well-perfected setup thing. It could be as simple as you walking outside with your phone in your hand, holding it, and just walking and talking for a minute or two. And I'm saying this because deep down inside, I used to think that we're all needing some spark in our life. What's my spark? And then one day I realized it wasn't about my spark. It's about the source. The spark is a thing that could be an abundance of things. When you know the source, it's not your why. When you know the source that fuels you, it inspires you so much more. An example I could use is I was talking with my wife about this, and I showed her a clip from Man of Steel, Superman. And when we look at Superman, everything for him revolves around the symbol on his chest, which is hope. The fact that his family and generational symbol is hope is knowing that there's always hope and a better tomorrow. There's always hope because we have that power and that strength. And I realized in that moment for me, when I watched the movie and I got to understand it more, that I've always felt like a beacon of hope for others. And that's because I've always been a beacon of hope for myself, because I've never given up. As an Army combat veteran, I've had people give up on life, and I've never fully given up on life. I've had dark moments. I'll admit that. I've had really dark moments where I did want to give up, and I'm grateful I never did. And for me, my source was love and hope. Because as my mentor told me, love is the greatest thing that ever was, is, and ever will be. And I will always have hope, not in the sense, I hope things will be great. I hope this way. It's just, no, I have hope in myself. Like my inner child has hope in the future version of me. My inner child went through everything that it went through because it knew deep down inside, through love and hope, that I would find a way to get through everything. That is what I mean by hope. My hope is based on the past version of me believing in the future version of me. And I'm not going to let the past version or the future version of me down, nor am I going to shame or guilt myself for things that I do or don't do, because I'm always doing something. I'm always learning. Even when I'm procrastinating, I don't let it last that long, because I pull myself out of it, because I know my source is love and hope. I know right now that there are thousands of people scrolling on social media waiting for someone to say the things I'm sharing today and tomorrow and the next week and the next month and over these years. There are people that either want to give up today, like I was at some point in my life, or they're experiencing very slow suicide. And for those people, I am here. And for those people that are outside of that and have already found a way, I'm here to also assist them with life transitions. This is what I love doing. I love sharing. I love being. I love expressing. And my gift is my energy and my soul and my spirit and my voice. I know I have a powerful voice. So in this episode, in this message, in this meeting of Council of Kadaras, I get to hold myself accountable to using my gifts, using my voice more, creating more guided meditations, showing up more on social media. When I say showing up more, I actually mean showing up with quality and quantity. Doesn't mean I have to make a certain amount of videos. Like showing up more doesn't mean you have to make a certain amount of videos every single day. It just means show up as more of yourself. Allow more of yourself to be seen. It doesn't mean I have to share every single inch of millimeter atom of every life experience I've ever had. I get to share the lessons and how I got to them, because I don't want to just share the lesson or the result and people just be like, yeah, of course, whatever. I want you to know what got me there. So thank you for holding me accountable. Thank you for listening, and be ready for a fucking plethora of just information and experiences and wisdom and things like that, because I'm here to acquire wealth. I get to make money. I get to live comfortably. And in the process of doing so, I get to shine so that I get to inspire a bunch of you, because so many of you have inspired me. I'm inspired by my mentors. I'm inspired by my peers, and I'm inspired by the people that tell me I inspire them. So thank you. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh.